John Bush here with Catherine Bleish. We just recently went out to California to the Freedom Law School Conference, their 2011 conference, and Catherine was a speaker. She gave a great speech about how the police state has affected her life personally and what we can do to stand up against it. And wouldn't you know it, we both had an encounter with the police state on the way home. Of course, both of us have been active in the push against the TSA body scanners in recent months. Liberty Restoration Project, which Catherine founded. Tracy Ward, the executive director of that, she was one of the first people in the country to push back before the whole opt-out day. Texans for Accountable Government down in Austin. We're currently working to prevent the Austin City Council from bringing or allowing these body scanners to show up at ABIA, Austin Bergstrom International Airport. So we're very familiar with the tyranny that comes along with this security theater, and we had a run-in with it ourselves. We were there in line at Ontario, California Airport. Catherine was right behind me. We both chose to go in the line that looked like it was going to be leading to the metal detector. I made it through the metal detector, but unfortunately Catherine, who was apparently chosen at random, was asked to go through the body scanner, and I'm going to let her tell you her experience after that.
Well, I was actually about 1.5 feet from going through the metal detector, and a woman grabbed my arm and said, "I need you to step over here. You've been selected to go through the body scanner." And I said, "No, thanks." And should we tell them why?
Sure.
You say it.
Well, we weren't planning on breaking the news in this particular manner, but I guess that's the life of a couple radicals, and we're proud to announce that Catherine is pregnant, and I'm the father, and because of this, and of course other reasons as well, our privacy and civil liberties and the health effects, but mainly now that she's pregnant, she's got a little creature down in her belly, and of course the radiation that these machines, even the TSA recommends that you don't do that. So naturally she refused the body scanner, and they instructed her that she would take the enhanced pat down. She refused that as well. And then what happened?
Well, I kept asking if there was somebody I could talk to. They passed me around from TSA agent to TSA agent, and nobody had an answer for me except do the enhanced pat down, which now requires hands inside your pants, which I am personally absolutely not comfortable with, or I had to go through the body scanner. Those were my only two options. And at first they told me that I couldn't have an opportunity to speak to John because he had been caught with something he wasn't supposed to have on an airplane. And so after talking to probably a dozen TSA agents, they just left me standing there in between the two lines, the body scanner line and the metal detector line. So I took out a piece of paper that John had printed for me that had the 4th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, it had the privacy clause in the California Constitution, and it had the sexual assault laws from California printed out. And I read them to the TSA agents, and I turned around and I asked the crowd, I said, "Is there anybody here that's going to stand up for me? You know, I'm with child, I don't want to go through the body scanner, and I don't want to be violated. Will somebody please just stand up and say this is wrong?" And one young man said it wouldn't matter. And it broke my heart, and I started crying because I didn't know what to do. And I sat down in the chair, and I just sat there, and the supervisor, the woman who had told me that John had been detained, it turns out another guy had been detained for having ammunition, she walked up and said, "Would you like to talk to a police officer?" And I said, "Well, sure, anybody who can help me get through here." So they brought over a police officer, and he asked what was going on, and I asked if we could, step somewhere else because I didn't want to, stand in front of all these people all emotional. So we went off to the side, and we had a really good conversation. It got a little heated at one moment where after we had discussed the fact that these body scanners were unconstitutional under California Constitution, he agreed with that, but he said that it would not be settled today, that he had no jurisdiction in the airport because it was federal property and federal jurisdiction, and the TSA had jurisdiction there, and he said I would have to take it to court, and that there was no way for me to settle it there. So he instructed me to leave and told me I was disobeying a lawful order. And I said, the last officer who said that to me had to write an apology letter after I went to jail. So I know you don't want them to do that for you. And he said, ma'am, I'm instructing you to leave. And I said, sir, I am instructing you to uphold your oath to the Constitution. And we stood there for, it seemed like 30 seconds. It was probably like 5 or something. And he said, okay, okay. And then he started getting upset that I didn't have shoes on, which of course my camera that was set on record had gone through the metal detector stuff x-ray machine, and my shoes had gone through with my laptop, and they weren't letting John come to me. And he said, where are her shoes? Where are her shoes? And he started getting really mad. And so finally they let John come to me. And at that point, John started negotiating with them, and I thought we were getting somewhere.
Yeah, we were asked to speak with the supervisor. We were already speaking with the supervisor. We asked to speak with the head of security of the airport. We think they pulled him from home because they kept on saying he'll be here in 5 minutes, he'll be here in 10 minutes, he'll be here in 5 minutes, he'll be here in 2 minutes. And he showed up, the head security guy. We were there. We said, look, we're reasonable people. We understand the Constitution. We believe this to be an unreasonable search, because we don't feel that the threat is what the Department of Homeland Security would have us believe for a multitude of reasons. So we tried to negotiate with this gentleman to see if we could go through with the pat-down, however, leave off the portion where they put the fingers through the pant line, and also leave off the portion where they go up the inner thigh. And he said that they go up the inner thigh till they hit the torso. And I informed him, well, you're going up the inner thigh, you're going to be hitting a woman's vagina. And unfortunately, and then we also demanded that I was able to record it. I informed him that, this may not be the case here with your TSA agents, but all across the country, there's just a report of $160,000 being stolen, a bunch of perverts, masturbation in back rooms, yada, yada, yada. So we insisted that we record it. Those were our 3 demands, and unfortunately, none of them were met. So we were left with either one of 2 options for a pregnant mother. A, you don't fly, or B, you fly and you are subsequently violated by the TSA. So as you can see from the train scenery going in the background, we decided to opt out of flying altogether, to stand firm for our constitutionally protected natural rights, and here we are on a 40-hour train trip. So we put out a call to the activist community that the train was going to be extra, a couple $100 extra. Additionally, Catherine was going to be missing a couple work opportunities, and we were going to have to be paying more money for the dog sitters that we had. So it was very inconvenient for us to have to go through with this, but we want to send the message that we're beginning to grow a community of activists, libertarians, freedom fighters all across the country. And when we stand up for our rights, while it may be difficult and inconvenient, we just want to thank the community, thank the activist community, because they stood up for us, and there was an outpour of support, and we managed to raise several $100s to help overcome the costs and the missed work that Catherine had so she can pay her rent. So we just want to send a big thank you to the activist community, to all of those who donated and all of those who showed their support. It is inconvenient, but it's by time that we all stand up for our rights. There's no amount of convenience that is worth subjugating yourself willingly and voluntarily to any type of tyranny that this government may throw at us. So we hope, while it is a pain in the butt and we didn't sleep very well at all last night on the train.
We didn't have any blankets. We were so unprepared.
Yeah, it's a 40-hour plane trip. We just want you to know that the inconvenience that we've gone through, we hope it's an inspiration to you guys to stand up for your rights as well, because the more and more that we stop willingly and voluntarily giving up our rights, the more free and prosperous this country and society will become. So again, we hate to break this big news about the child that we're going to be having in this particular fashion, but we felt we would be doing a disservice by not giving you the full story. So you can send your congratulations, and again, we want to thank you, and we look forward to growing as a community. And again, we want to encourage you, again, no matter the convenience, there's no convenience that is worth subjugating your rights to a tyrannical government. So again,
and there's no job worth keeping if you're going to be the one inflicting, because that was the reason the head of security for the Ontario airport, the police officers, and every single TSA agent that we spoke with, it was a total of 4 police officers and well over a dozen TSA agents, They just wanted to keep their job, and they said that even though they knew it was wrong.
Yeah, it's like the Nuremberg trial. So we just, again, hope this is an inspiration to you. We want to send a big thanks to all that supported us, and we're calling on you to stand up for your rights, no matter how inconvenient it may be. And here we are coming up on the Pecos River. So Texas, sweet Texas, we love you. Keep Texas free. Get rid of the body scanners. We're going to keep on rocking, and we're already starting to build the next generation that'll make this country a better place to live. So we'll leave you with the side of the Pecos River.
How far is it? This is the biggest bridge that a train crosses in the United States, they said. Here it comes.
Texas, sweet Texas.
So glad to be home.
And here we are on the Pecos River, the highest railroad bridge in the U.S. 353 feet down to the water. This Pecos River will merge with the Rio Grande about a mile south of us. And both the rivers will dump into Lake Amistad. We'll be crossing over in about 30 minutes from now. Lake Amistad, 30 minutes from now. Del Rio, our next station stop.
There you go, folks.
45 minutes to Del Rio.
We've pledged to no longer voluntarily or willingly give up our rights, and we hope that you'll do the same. And we feel strongly that if all of us do that, then we will create a more free and prosperous society that everybody can enjoy. So this is Catherine Bleish, John Bush, bidding you farewell.
Love.